Recording in progress.
Hot.
Well, if it isn't Anna Donnelly.
If it isn't the consequences of my own Kimberly.
Fancy seeing you here.
Well. Look how far we've come and how far we've still yet to go.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. Episode 18. Holy crap, of Funny, Hot, and Very Cool.
The podcast where Kimmy and I talk about whatever the hell we feel like talking about because we just feel like people need to hear our thoughts and prayers.
I know how like Seinfeld is the show about nothing. I really feel like we could coin that for this pod.
The show about something, but nobody really knows.
We've stuck to like no common themes besides hating men.
Yeah, hating and dating.
And yeah, hating and dating, TikTok. That's really it. That's all I have to offer the world.
Yeah, just a lot of opinions from two little girls.
Yeah, and I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl at that.
I know. I'm just a girl. Please don't ask for anything more than what you're getting right now.
Do
I
you
can't
have like
offer
a
it.
star projector on your wall?
I do. Should I turn it
love
off?
it.
Okay.
No, I love it.
It's going in and out. I did have, well, hold on, let me see if this will do anything. It's like supposed to be,
Yeah.
oh God.
Oh.
It has a green light, but the other lamps are on, so.
Oh my God.
And then
No,
the little
it's
stars are green.
fascinating. Big fan. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can partake today. I have my kelp.
Oh my gosh, it's kelp o'clock. Kelp o'clock
I
somewhere.
shouldn't, because I did have an afternoon coffee today that made me vibrate.
I had an afternoon coffee too, but it was my only
Yeah.
one of the day, and it was like a half calf situation.
Oh, no, I did. Nice. I did full calf in the morning, full calf in the afternoon, and then I went to the gym and I thought I was going to projectile vomit.
Fair. It happens.
So I probably shouldn't be partaking in more caffeine. However, cheers.
Santé.
I feel like I needed some like aspartame.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like a classic aspartame to really get the juices flowing.
Yeah, exactly. Um, well, I know that we said we had no common themes, but you have an update for us on your state of all time.
Yeah, so a while back, I forget, a while back, we only have 18 episodes.
Hey, that's a lot.
One of our previous 18 episodes, there was one, I believe we titled it Hannah's Worst Date. You can go listen to that if you haven't.
I wonder what that's about.
But the guy that I talked about who was extremely filthy and had like the cups and everything stacked everywhere on his counter and was just covered in like soot in his apartment essentially.
Filthy in like the literal sense of the word.
Yeah.
Like not the cool hot way.
Yeah. Not the Tumblr grunge way.
Yeah. Not the G-Eazy way.
Oh my God. Speaking of previous episodes. Anyway, so I was on Facebook. I think I probably check my Facebook maybe once a week, every other week.
Yeah, I haven't been on Facebook in like probably a full 6 to 8 months now.
I was thinking about this. The nice part about Facebook is that like you used to be able to make like groups and pages and stuff. So like
Yeah.
podcasts used to have like pages where the listeners can interact with each other. But like, I guess Discord now? I don't know.
I don't know. Also, like, I mean, Facebook users are definitely not our target audience.
Exactly. So I'm just like, oh, that's kind of sad. But
yeah,
I'm in a couple groups still. So like when I go and I check in on those Sims and I see what's going on and stuff. But I was just scrolling a little bit, and one of the groups I'm in is like a local DC one, and somebody posted about this guy, which they had previously posted about him. So so I'm in this group and it's basically women. And they will post like if there's been some weird experiences with a guy, or like, you know, if there's fishy things going around. And somebody had posted this guy before because, as we've discussed, he is a bit predatory with like how he tries to date and pick up women. And somebody posted again, they saw him on another dating app. I saw him on Hinge. I know he's been on Bumble. We've talked about how he has like has gone on different names. His age is not
Mhm.
correct.
Mhm.
So he was on Coffee Meets Bagel in the DC area, which I believe is a Jewish dating app.
Yeah.
Okay, that this man is not Jewish. And it said that he was like 26 still. It said the name that I knew him by. And people were commenting and they were saying, like, I want to date with this guy in like 2013, or I knew him in college, and blah, blah, blah.
2013?
People in the comments are now saying, like, oh, well, first of all, it's a lot of, oh, this guy again. But people are
Yeah.
estimating because of how long they've known him and what his age was then, he's between the
Right.
ages of like 45 and 50.
Vomit. Absolutely not. That is
Uh,
so scary.
yeah. So just be careful out there, ladies. If he looks older, he's not just dehydrated, which was what I thought at first. I was like, he looks older. Maybe he just doesn't drink enough water.
My God.
He
That is
looks,
so terrifying. Like, it really impairs my trust in the whole online dating process.
just dating in general. Because
Just,
this man
yeah.
tries to meet people out in the wild too.
Yeah. I've like found myself already preemptively getting angry at the concept of online dating again. Like the first time you sit down and someone like asks to split a check on a first date and you're like, I risked my safety to be here and I'm wearing $200 worth of makeup products and it took me 2.5 hours to get ready and you showered and showed up, you can pay for my $14 old fashioned.
Yeah. And if I didn't do all that, you still would have asked me to split the check because I didn't look the part.
Right.
Cool.
So I've already started getting pissed about those scenarios that will inevitably be upcoming in my life.
Yeah, I've been on a little breaky break too. I
Yeah.
like removed the apps because it was just like not helping the mental healthy.
Yeah, I talked about dating with my therapist 2 weeks ago, and she was like, "Yeah, we have some work to do."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, I
good."
don't think I ever realized until recently like how deep rooted my distrust for like all of men is. And it's
Yeah.
like you don't want to be like what is it, misandrist or whatever when you're like against men. But at the same time, not all men, but definitely these fucking men that have
Yeah.
validated all of my thoughts.
I know we've talked about this recently, like in our personal lives, but there is nothing more unattractive to me than zero effort. And
Yeah.
it is a theme that keeps occurring. And I've had so many situations like over I feel like decade of my life, like basically forever, where we'll have friends who will be like, "Oh my God, like so and so is so like my friend so and so is so into you." And I'm like, "Okay, are, are they ever going to say that?"
Yeah.
Like, and then we'll be in these group settings together, and said person will never come up to me, never make a move, never do anything. And I'm like, and then the conversations will continue, and they're like, "Oh, like he really likes you, like he's so attracted to you, whatever." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, I now am so unattracted to him and uninterested because we've been in overlapping social settings for a year and he hasn't like asked me out or asked for my number. So,
Yeah. I mean, I
bye.
remember like a Hinge date of mine or something. I still keep in with him. Wow, cannot speak. I still keep in touch with him. He's a cool dude, but like I remember he was
You love
like
making friends on
I
Hinge.
know. But like well, he has my sense of humor, so like it's just another
Yeah.
person I get to send memes to, which I love. Um
Yeah.
but I was saying like, oh, we could go like to this restaurant or this restaurant because he was like, we can get like drinks and food. And then
Mhm.
he responded, goes, cool, I made a reservation at this one. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, really? He's like, yeah, isn't that like expected? I was like,
Like, no, I
no.
wish I could explain to you that if there's something underneath hell, that's where my bar lives.
Yeah, I was like making, just literally going on like Resi Open Table or calling a restaurant to like make a reservation
Yeah.
is bringing the bar so far up for me, which is
Yeah.
so sad.
Same. Yeah.
So.
Like answering my text. Crazy.
In a
We can
reasonable time
we can
frame.
only ask for so much.
Well, speaking of age and restaurants, I do want to also talk. Last week, I went out with my sister and her friends to get Mexican food, suburban Mexican food.
Nothing better.
we sat down and they immediately brought chips and salsa to the table,
Oh
and I
my
was like,
God,
"Fuck
I want
yes."
it so bad.
Um, the wait staff experience, our server,
Mm.
it was just so odd. It was like every time he walked away from the table, we all just kind of like made eye contact with each other in silence and then started
Why?
talking. Um, so he comes up and he's like, "Do you guys like want any drinks or anything?" And like a couple of us got margaritas, but not all of us like were drinking. And then as soon as it gets to me, he's like, "Can I see your ID?" He goes, "Actually, I should probably ID all of you." And then but I'm the only one that he was like, "Whatever." So um he pulled all of our IDs and he looks at mine and he goes, "Oh, you're older than me." And I was just like, okay.
Oh,
Immediately, I'm just like, did not have to comment about that. And
your
then he
tip
looks
just
at,
went down at least a full percentage.
yeah, I'm like, that's 0.75% less tip you're getting.
Yeah, literally.
It's still going to be above 20, but
Yeah, I'm tipping you our less than our age difference.
yeah, exactly. And so he then looks at everyone else's IDs and he goes, "Oh, all of you guys are older than me." And we're like, "Oh my God. It's a table of
Mm,
women."
mm.
Um, and
A
he's like, "Yeah,
really
I'm
welcomed
25."
topic.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I'm 25. All you guys are older than me." And we're just like,
And
"Okay."
what?
Yeah, also maybe he should drink a little more water. Um,
Oh, okay.
I would
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, I mean, 25, whatever." But
Yeah.
anyway, it was just like so the margaritas, he
Mhm.
brings them all at the same time
Mhm.
and mine, I look, he came back before that, I think no less than 3 times to the table, being like, "And you wanted a
So,
mango margarita, right?" And then comes back, "And you
oh,
you wanted salt or sugar on the rim?" And then like, he came back and asked me that, and I was like, "I don't want either." He's like, "Okay." And then he comes back again, and he like asked something else, and each time he's like, "Yeah, I put my notepad down and someone grabbed it. I don't know where it went, so I just want to make sure they're right." Blah 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 blah. And so he comes back at least 3 times to confirm everyone's margaritas and then brings them out. And of course, mine is wrong. And I was like, "Yeah, I wanted this. It was frozen instead of on the rocks." But I was like, "I really don't
that
want a
makes a
brain
really
freeze."
big difference. A frozen drink is like a meal.
Yeah. And it takes forever. And,
Gives me
anyway,
a brain freeze. I
I
don't want it
know.
unless
I
I'm
was
like
just
sitting on
like,
a beach somewhere. I don't want my drink frozen.
yeah. And the last time I had a margarita was frozen. So I was like really looking forward to getting something on the rocks. And like, it's
Right.
just a whatever. It's my
You
preference.
deserve
I'm at a
that
restaurant.
variety in your life.
I don't have to justify my restaurant order to you, Kimberly. Stop making me.
I was saying you deserve
I
variety in your
know.
life.
I know. I'm sitting here like, why am I justifying the fact that I wanted not a frozen drink?
Yeah,
He brought my order out wrong, and I'm like, but I didn't want to take the wrong drink because I really wanted the one that I ordered. Like, hello.
yeah, it's
I'm
no, you
so
deserve
dumb.
you
Anyway,
deserve that.
so I'm just like, "Oh, I really want it on the rocks." And he's like, "Okay," and like grabs it, comes back like, I don't know, 20 days later, with the correct one. And then he's like, "Okay, like what do you guys want to eat?" And he has a notepad, thank goodness. But it
Thank
was just
God.
like the whole thing of like, we get our food, everything's fine. But every time
A
he brought
miracle.
out our food or our drinks, or like we got like queso and stuff, we're a table of like 5-ish girls and we're at like a rectangle table. So one
Mhm.
person's on like the far end and he's standing on the other like head of the table end
Mhm.
that no one's at. He brings it over, he holds the food or drinks out in the middle of the table.
Mm.
And so we're just like, okay, one of us has to like reach and grab it. It was just really weird. He didn't like put it on the table or like look to be like, "Whose is this?" or like walk
So
around the
awkward.
table to hand it to the person. He just hovered it in the middle. And so it's just like he brought out like, "Oh, here's someone's tacos." And like,
He's like
it's like,
crowdsourcing his
yeah, chicken
waiting
tacos
skills.
and just hovers in the middle. And then somebody has to reach across and be like, "Mine."
Oh my God.
It
That
was
sounds
just
so
so weird.
awkward.
And then the same thing when we were like waiting for the check, like someone was in the restroom and he's like, "Do you guys want the checks now or blah blah blah?" And we're like, "Whatever works for you." He goes, "I don't care. Like you guys can hang out. Just let me know." And we're like, Whatever." Like we, I don't know. It was just like he was very wishy washy about like, do we want the checks? He was like, "I just need to know if I
Have
need to prepare them
conviction
or
in
not."
your job, my guy.
Yeah, he's like, "I just need to know if I need to prepare them or not. But like, you guys are welcome to stay." Because we were like, "Oh, we can get out of your hair." And then I was just like, "We'll take the check."
Yeah, what a interesting
It
experience.
was just very rough to be like sitting there, and I was like, it's very clear that you're a new 25, if that, like,
Mm.
hello.
This conversation also sparked me a memory about a man, which I'm not sure if we've talked
Wow.
about on this podcast before. If we
Okay.
have, I'm sorry. But
I'll let
it's
you know.
the guy who hated blue cheese.
We did. I don't think we talked about this. I don't know if
Okay,
I know
so
this.
years ago I was on a third date, which just I feel like is very make or break when you're online dating. And we went to a restaurant in Courthouse and we were ordering dinner. And I, like the adult that I am, got chicken tenders and french fries. And he ordered this sandwich that was not supposed to have blue cheese on it, or it was like a whole different, I don't know. Anyway, um, they bring out a sandwich that's like 90% blue cheese. And he just starts eating it. And I was like, dude, you hate blue cheese. Like it's fine. Let's just send it back. And he was like, no, I can't possibly. And I was like, okay, I will. Like, and so I called the waitress over and I was like, I'm so sorry, this is wrong. He ordered this sandwich, not this one. And she was like, okay. And he was like, that was really impressive. I could have never had that confrontation. And I was like, okay, well, you're a grown man and you can't tell someone that not only was it like sometimes it's a little awkward when it's like, oh, like my steak is slightly overcooked and now I just waste it. But I was like, you literally will not eat this because it's covered in something that you loathe. Like, what are you just gonna throw it out? Like, just
Yeah.
tell them. So add it to my list of icks if you can't send something back in a restaurant confidently and if you don't put in any effort.
If
Again,
you
bars
can't make
for
a
them.
reservation and you can't tell somebody when your order is incorrect,
Yeah.
yeah, that I feel like the restaurant basics of dating.
Yeah, restaurant etiquette. I've like when I was most recently on Hinge, had one of my prompts.
Should we call it the restaurant test?
Yeah, seriously. Well,
Our
it's like a
podcast has
making
a thing.
plans. It's yeah, let's make it go viral, except for I
Okay.
deleted TikTok, so I'll never see if it does.
I can do it.
Um, thanks, Ann. Oh, when I was most recently on Hinge, one
Mm.
of my prompts was I'm looking for, and it was like someone who doesn't gaslight me and has table manners, and that was it. And I got so many responses being like, "Are these really your standards?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually they are
At this
because
point,
at this point it's would be more than what I've had." So,
yeah, I need someone who takes a little more initiative. So,
speaking of initiatives, I'm starting a new one.
oh,
That New Year's should be March 1st, not January 1st. And this is my personal initiative because the first 2 months of my 2024 have been absolute fucking ass. So, I'm starting over. March 1st, I'm celebrating New Year's. I'm literally going to go out in a New Year's hat and act like my year is starting
starting.
over.
I love that. A
Yeah.
normalize restarting the new year.
Yeah. And then I saw this quote today that I just felt like really encapsulated how I feel. And it said, this is like from a tweet, so I don't really know who to credit, but it said, now I think life kind of begins in March. January is just nostalgia and recollection. In February, it's all about regaining consciousness. And I was
True.
like, hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna live by now.
Yeah. Normalize like starting things when it makes sense for you.
Yeah, so happy New Year, everyone.
So exciting. It's our Happy New
Thank
Year's
you.
episode.
Yeah, our New Year's is now, so
Whoop whoop. This is
absolutely
exciting.
thrilling.
Sorry, I have to look to see what else is on the note. I know I had a bunch of stuff that I just like yeah, I feel like I used the note actually to write down what I wanted to talk about for once.
I'm so
Yeah,
happy.
I had
I
thoughts.
didn't.
Fair. Somebody reintroduced themselves to you?
Oh, yes. Um,
Explain.
okay, so I was at a housewarming party on Saturday,
Uh-huh.
and this was someone who used to date someone that we know. I'm gonna be mad vague about that. And he came in, and I hadn't seen him in years. And he was like, "Hey, good to see you, whatever." knew my name. I was like, hey, like, pretty neutral about seeing you, but whatever. And I didn't say that, obviously. I just was like, oh, this is interesting. And then, like, I end up out back of this housewarming outside and it's freezing out. So I had put on my jacket that I did not have on inside when I had first run into this guy. And then he comes outside and walks up to me and puts his hand out and goes, hey, I'm so and so. And I look at him and I was like, I just said hi to you. And he was like, what? And I was like, I literally just put a jacket on. Like, I'm the same person you've known for 5 years.
You know when you put a jacket on and it changes your whole face?
It was so weird. Anyway, he ended up being the drunkest girl at the party and having to be sent home in an Uber. So I don't know if there was some substance going on there that maybe impaired his judgment.
Was he invited?
No, he was a plus one of someone who was invited. Fucking weird. Weird, 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 weird. It was so weird. And everyone had a bad time with him. Anyway,
The vibes were off at Applebee's. Ugh.
the vibes were so off. Everyone kept looking at him and being like, oh my God, how? Like, here's the thing. We all have times where we get a little bit too drunk and maybe you act in a way that you shouldn't for your age. But sometimes in a setting like that, I'm like, how does this happen? You're at a housewarming party. It is very tame. Nothing is crazy. And you can't stand up straight. And there aren't enough people there for you to like mask that behavior.
Hmm.
It just puts like the spotlight on you. And I was like, oh my God.
Also, it's a housewarming, not like a fucking rager.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an experience and a half. So
Yeah, sounds like
yeah.
something else is involved.
Yeah,
Yikes.
and then that's like happened to me before where guys will be like, I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names. And to me, that is kind of the same thing as being late all the time as an adult. It's just a sign of immaturity. Like, I meet someone once and I can pretty much be like, oh, I at least remember your existence.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, I am awful with names, but I don't
Yeah,
preface that I'm bad with names. I feel like that is
right.
such a cop out. I'll go up
Yeah.
and be like, I know we've met before. Like, I am so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have people
Right.
say that to me and be like, I totally get it. Of course. And
Yeah.
like, we've met in big
That's
social situations where you met a bunch of people. Sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's a respectful way to admit that you don't know someone's name, not like, "Ah, I'm bad with names and you weren't memorable enough for it to stick in my brain. Sorry, bitch." Like,
Yeah.
my brain is like not okay today.
No,
I
I haven't
think
recovered from yesterday.
we need to better plan my recordings when I don't have a lot of meetings
Yeah.
because I was on meetings today for like 7 hours and now talking more, it's not working. My brain is like, no talk.
You zoomed out.
I'm
Great.
zoomed out. I have Zoom fatigue. Um,
Well, since you're fatigued, let me take over. I have been experiencing some
I'm just
learning
gonna shut the
and
fuck
some
up.
growth. Yeah, how about you shut your fucking mouth and let me yap?
Okay. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Um, so I want to go back to the new year because
Mhm.
you were talking about how, our new years are really beginning this at the end of
Mhm.
this week.
Happy March
Um,
1st.
Happy New Year, March 1st. Previously, I had said that I wanted to do more like DIY and
Mhm.
like less of like buying into to buying.
Yeah.
Um, and you can
Consumerism
check
is
that
out.
out on our previous episodes if you missed our January New Year's
Yeah,
episode.
plug, 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 plug.
So I've been
Sorry.
doing a pretty good job sticking to my commitment to DIY more this year.
Yeah, you've been
Um,
sewing it up.
yeah, my mom has a really cool friend she met from golfing, and she's known her for years, and we like popped over to her house. And what she does is she literally thrift shops and goes to the thrift stores and looks at clothes and looks at
Plug.
like buttons and zippers and stuff because it's cheaper to buy a dress for like 3.99 for the
Mhm.
zipper than to go to a Joann Fabric and buy
Oh,
the
yeah.
zipper there.
That
Um,
is brilliant, actually.
isn't it? And I was like, holy shit, Sue. Like, you are so onto something.
Yeah, because the craft stores mark up the price of materials like insane.
Yeah, it's so
Wow.
expensive to get fabric, to get buttons, to get zippers, all this stuff. So she's like, I bought, she's like, show me, she's like, oh, I bought this top because I liked the fringe it has. And I bought this dress because I liked
Wild.
how it had like this lace overlay. So she has like a dress form and all this stuff, and she'll like make shirts for people, and she'll like sew little like flowers out of the fabric and stuff. And I was like, this is genius. This is what I need
Yeah,
to be doing.
love.
So, I went to the thrift store and I saw some like cool skirts, and there was one that was like big on me, and was like a long skirt,
Hmm.
ton of fabric. So I've been making that into a dress. Really
Fun.
excited. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and like I took like another. It was a like I think if somebody it's also okay. Let me pace myself here. I took a skirt and I'm getting ahead of myself. I took a skirt and I turned it into a purse too, like a shorter skirt, had like some cool
Incredible.
buttons on it and stuff. And the fabric was like kind of cheap and stuff, so I was like, okay, like whatever. I got like all of this shit at the thrift store. I got like for like $16, I think. I got like three skirts, I got a blazer, a dress, two dresses, um, and I'm using all of it.
Amazing.
Really sad though, the thrift stores have a
Hmm.
ton because I'm like, oh, this is a trendy pattern. It's like, and then I'm like, this quality feels like shit. Oh, it's Shein.
I was
So,
gonna say I know exactly where this is going.
so much Shein.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to say that like we are trendsetters, but the fact that we said that DIY is in and now everything's being confirmed to us, like,
Mm,
hello, we're
yeah,
just better than everyone.
I
Um,
agree. We've always said that.
and we always will.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is really sad that people are buying Shein. Like, here's a dress for $7.99 at Shein, and then you go to
Yep.
the thrift store and they're selling it for like $6.99 or something because it's a trendy pattern, but it's Shein.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's just really sad. So I've been, I know
I feel
you.
like
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel like I go through that myself where like I'll do a closet clean out like once every 6 months. And it's all just like the 2.99 like Urban Outfitters crop tops that I got on sale that I needed to buy to hit a shipping minimum that I just never wore.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do less of that this year, like impulse buying, like sales, shopping. I turned off all push notifications for like any shopping related app that I have. I'm like, I don't want to know if Urban Outfitters is 80% off clearance. Like, I just can't.
Yeah. Well, and like I said previously, like the whole reason I want to do more DIY is because I have some clothes that I'm like grown out of in the sense that now they're huge on me. And I'm like, I don't
Slay.
like either it's something that is old or whatever. I'm like, this could be reused. So that's why we went to my mom's friend's house and like talked to her
Mhm.
about how she's been doing things. But,
I've
you
been
know,
blessed to have a mom who sews.
hmm
She made like all of our costumes and everything growing up. And now when I need like a waist taken in or a strap taken up because I don't have a fucking torso, so everything's always long on me, I can just throw it and just spit. I hope that the camera caught that because it's
I can't wait to
literally
watch this back.
whenever I go home, I just put all of that stuff in my suitcase and then I'll do like my fittings basically with my mom, and then she will ship it back to me, and it is amazing and better quality than a tailor and free.
For sure. Like, I mean, my grandma always sewed, my mom's mom, and she did the same thing, and that's how I learned how to sew from her. My mom's really
Yeah.
great at fixing holes, buttons, taking in clothes if it's like just a little bit, like things of that nature. She's very
I wish I
thrifty,
could
very
sew.
crafty,
I don't
but
yeah, I don't have the patience to learn that,
yeah, that's fair.
but I
Um,
respect people who do.
well, all of this is to say that, you've been taking a break from TikTok because you were getting
Mhm.
fed stuff you didn't like from the algorithm. Mine
Illusions.
Mine has started to change because I'm like, this overconsumption is crazy. And I found this
Yeah,
really cool account. Her name is, it's all one word, lowercase, depression.gov, DOTGOV.
amazing.
And
Sounds very relatable.
she does reaction videos to like the restock videos to people being like,
Mm.
here's my, come to Target with me. Here's my TJ Maxx haul. Here's all the new stuff at
Stock my
Target, blah,
best
blah, blah.
bathroom for $800 a drawer.
Yeah, weekly restock of my like get ready for work with me and stuff.
Yeah.
So she'll go and she'll comment and she'll be like, she's really reasonable too. Where like people will be like, oh, here's like, I got new bobby pins. It's like practical,
Mhm.
or like, oh, I could see how that's helpful. But then something she's just like, why do you need that? Why do you need a double?
De-influencing.
Or yeah, she really is like
Yeah.
de-influencing, and she's like, that's like some of this like Target stuff. She's like, or TJ Maxx. She's like, that's trash. Like the seasonal
Yeah,
stuff that comes around, that especially
totally.
the super trendy kind. She's like, that's trash.
Yeah.
It's just trash. Don't get it.
I feel like me deleting TikTok was me de-influencing my whole life. Like I have spent so much less money
Hmm.
already, and it's been literally 10 days, you guys. Like I have spent so much less money not having it because I'm not seeing like the latest lip balm or like Amazon Skims dupe. Like I don't see it, and so I don't cart it, and then I don't buy it.
Yeah, she makes like a lot of sense. Like it's people who have, the people who are super Stanley Tumbler obsessed and they get
Mhm.
like the accessories for it.
Yeah, or they like laminate the packaging. Have you
Yeah,
seen that?
I haven't seen those, but
They'll
that's
literally go get the like sleeve that your Stanley Cup comes packaged in, laminated so that it stays on the cup and like constantly looks new. I don't know. I will say yesterday I played pickleball with two of our friends and we went out to lunch after and we all had Stanley Cups.
Mhm.
And we had 2 comments from other patrons in the restaurant about it. The one guy stopped us, or like stopped, came up to our table and stopped and was like, "Where'd you get those?" And I was like, "I don't know, like we've had them for years now." And he was like, "We can't find them anywhere. My daughter's 14, like she wants one
Oh my
so bad."
God.
And I was like, "It's just crazy. Like the fad is insane." And then when we were leaving, this place had like an open kitchen and one of the cooks goes, "Nice cups." And we were so embarrassed.
That's funny actually.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like people will get, it feels like when people would accessorize their Crocs with
Yes.
like,
Mhm.
but like in a crazy way where it's like they have like straw toppers that are customized that say
Mhm.
like stuff, and then the middle part of the Stanley you can like get a cover for that, and then they have like
And
the holders and they have the plate thing that goes on top.
yeah, and they have, like, these like, clip-on sleeves that have, like, a key holder and a lip balm holder. Have you seen those?
Yeah, it's like a pockets for your
Yeah.
Stanley. It,
Yep.
it's your purse.
I
Congrats, you
mean, yeah.
reinvented the purse, Stanley. It's hydrating. But
Yeah.
like that's things where she's just like, okay, maybe you want to get your name on your cup, but like this is just excessive. So
Yeah.
like it's been really cool to kind of like see the stuff that she's like, oh, here's a cute like Easter or St. Patrick's Day, springtime, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is really cute. And then she's like, no, it's trash because it's not going to be made well. And you're not going to want it when it's not trendy next year. And it's going to end up in the landfill someday because,
One
no
part
one's
of
going to want it again.
one part of over-consumerism that I don't really get, and maybe it's because I don't have a car. Have you seen the, like, restocks of cars?
Yeah.
Like, these girlies will have Home Depot size bins in their back seat full of, like, and everything's always beige. It's always
Yeah.
beige. Like, paper towels, cleaning supplies, like, I get if you live in a cold place, like, you need a blanket and a candle if you're ever trapped in a snowstorm, like, those precautions, and then they'll have cosmetic cases in the front and in the glove box that's, like, body spray, deodorant, toothpaste, a freaking, like, battery-powered hair straightener, and I'm like, "When are you spending this much time in and around your car to necessitate having an entire Ulta
Hmm.
with it?"
Well, and that's what this girl has done. Depression.gov has been really good about. She stitched a bunch of back-to-back videos in one TikTok where
Mhm.
they were restocking cars. And she's like,
Yeah,
these are actually just advertisements because
right.
every video she stitched was a different creator, but it's the same tissue holder, the same trash cans that go in the
Mhm.
doors, the
They're
same
just like the
first aid kit, the same she's like, "We've seen this
Amazon
before."
influencers, yeah.
Mhm, "We've seen that before," and she's like, "This is
Crazy.
advertising. You're being fed ads and you don't know."
Yeah. Ads and delusions.
Yeah, she's like, "I see these all the time. We've seen this one in the and I'm like, "Holy shit, you're right. If that pops up on
Yeah,
my feed, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I
yeah,
might want that." But I don't see the other 20, 50, 100 plus creators that are doing the same thing, basically. It's
yeah,
copy my homework, change it up a bit.
literally.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, good for
So
her. I'll make a note, and when I get TikTok back, if I ever do, I will
I'll save and send what I
look
can,
her
but
up.
if I learn any other nuggets, it's just like I watch her and she's just like opening my eyes full of shit, and I'm like, oh my God, you're right. This
Yeah.
is crazy. And I mean, I'm sitting here in front of like my vanity with all this makeup stuff, and maybe it is a touch of the tism, and this is a special interest, but like
Mhm.
I have severely like gotten rid of a lot of makeup stuff, but I still
Mhm.
have a ton of it. And I
Yeah.
really don't be needing to keep consuming makeup in the way that I have been.
Yeah, I recently found a note in my phone that I had started in 2020, like, when I first got TikTok, that was a list of things I wanted to buy that I saw on TikTok. And I was like, "I don't remember what this was. I don't miss the fact that I never bought it." Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's crazy." And that I remember making that note because I was only being influenced, like, one thing a week, and when I recently deleted it, every other video was influencing me to buy something, so, like, the rate at which we're being influenced is
Yeah.
just increasing.
That is somebody I did also see on my algorithm now because that's starting to infiltrate it. Is like they were like, "Do
Mhm.
you ever notice that literally every other video says like eligible for commission?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You're
Yeah.
it's really annoying." It's like I have to scroll through so many because I'm like, I don't want an ad. I just want to look at
Right.
somebody being stupid.
Yeah, I just want Vine energy and,
Exactly.
like,
Vine
a
would never
travel
do that
video.
stuff.
I know. Well, they also didn't have very much time to do that.
Not much
7
time for the
seconds
Vine.
was not enough.
No. I do have one other thing that I kind of want to talk about with creators now that
Okay.
we're on this topic, um, and influencers. So I couldn't sleep the other night. I slept for like maybe 3 hours and then I was up from like 3 a.m. until 11 p.m. Um, so,
Nice.
so in my like 3 a.m. to, oh, somebody else is awake, around me type of time,
Mhm.
it's, it's time to get up. It's socially acceptable. I was catching up on some of my YouTube subscriptions,
Mm.
and there are some people that I like to watch, and I think they have like good, like middle of the road opinions when it comes to about things where they're like, this is a cool product, like
Yeah.
does everybody need this product? No, but like if you're looking for this, like maybe this is it. When it
Right.
comes to like skincare and makeup, and one of the people I follow on YouTube, and I've watched his videos for a while now, his name is James Welsh, and he has a brother named Robert, and Robert does makeup and James does skincare, but they
Love.
both have like worked in the world of communications, advertising, worked on sets of like magazine photo shoots and stuff, and so they're very like aware of, like, they'll post stuff individually or together about like this video is clearly filtered, so like this skincare
Yeah.
product isn't going to give you that. So James does little segments every once in a while about like sort of like what's going on in the world of like TikTok when it comes to skincare and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and like these
That would be
videos and all
helpful
this stuff.
actually, because I feel like I'll see all the viral shit and then I'm like, "Buy, buy, 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 buy," but I buy it so quickly that I can't keep up with my use of it, and then it, like,
Hmm.
goes bad, and then I just see the next thing, and it's a
Yeah,
never-ending
so
cycle.
in his consumption of TikTok and like doing this for the skincare side, he also like is just sort of aware of celebrity stuff. I think he used to work at like an Azo's Top Shop celebrity store or
Mm.
something. So he's interacted with
Interesting.
celebrities previously as well. And so he kind of has like an interesting point of view. He's not just
Yeah.
some random YouTuber. But
Yeah.
he was saying how people on TikTok or whatever were shitting on Billie Eilish because she made it seem that she didn't like how TikTokers were at one of the recent award ceremonies. People's
Yeah.
Choice. Um, I think it
I'm
was because she was like, "Why are TikTokers here?"
yeah.
And she was like making a comment, and he kind of delved further into that in the sense that like behind the scenes, you have TikTokers and influencers and like online creators who are very popular. And some of
Yeah,
them are there because it's people's choice, and some of them are there because the awards or whoever wants to have like content go out about it. You
totally.
have like the major people, kind of like a Chris Olsen or something, where
Yeah.
it's a recognizable face. They are very
Yeah,
much in
and
the
he's
pop
doing red
culture.
carpet work now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And so it's like those types of people, it makes sense to have them invited
right,
and maybe have them do content and ask celebrities. But there are so many TikTokers and creators there now that it's like a different world. And he was saying
right.
it's almost like when YouTubers started getting invited places and celebrities were like, why the fuck are they here? Because
Mhm.
they don't really understand the difference. But the one thing he did comment, and maybe he was saying maybe this is why like Billie made the comment, not that she hated them, but she was wondering why they were there, because a lot of the TikTokers will go up to celebrities and try and get a selfie or ask them to do
Yeah,
like content with them, even if it's like not a sponsored thing, just so they can get
yeah.
it. And so it's like celebrities who want to
For
go
their
have
own
their,
gain, like,
yeah.
I would.
Exactly. And I mean, like, that's the hustle of it. But like,
Yeah,
celebrities are like, I'm here to have a dinner. Like, my team, we paid to be here. I did my red carpet thing, the whole shtick out
mhm.
there, did my interviews. And now I want to
Like,
like
this is
just enjoy
work.
the show.
Yeah.
And people are like, between, at commercial breaks or whatever, coming up to their table and being
Billy,
like, can I get a
Billy.
selfie? Blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah,
then it's just like annoying. So I was like, I totally see both sides of that. But that's
yeah,
something where it's like, I just didn't realize how much it's like sort of infiltrated the celebrity culture, and the fact that
yeah.
like
When, like, at the Met Gala, I feel like when there are TikTok influencers and YouTube influencers at the Met Gala, everyone's always like, "Why?" But they're just another type of celebrity, like
exactly. And sometimes the companies will like partner with them and be like, we want you to do coverage for
right.
us, and like that's part of the
Yeah,
content and stuff, or they just are so major that it makes sense to be there. But it's
yeah,
really interesting that it's like, celebrities, the quintessential classic celebrity as we understand it, is there to be like, I did my shtick on the carpet, now I'm going to enjoy the
mhm,
show. And the TikTokers are like, I'm working this whole event.
right.
And it feels to me, I just had a thought pop in my head the other day that I was like, it just feels like the new age kind of version of like that door-to-door salesman aspect, where they're just like constantly going because
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
they have a job to do.
And I was just thinking there are certain events in, I guess, industries now that seem more overrun by the influencers than the, normal definition of a celebrity. Like, I was just thinking of, like, F1.
Yeah.
Everyone who attends F1 now feels like they're a TikTok or YouTube influencer, and obviously big actors and artists still go and are invited, but so much of the content I see from Formula 1 is from influencers, and also Fashion Week. Like,
Yeah.
when did Fashion Week become overridden with TikTokers?
Yeah, and it's like, and the one thing James said in his video, he was like, as a YouTuber, like we kind of went through this when YouTube started to really blow up
Yeah,
with their influencers, and now it's the TikTok influencers. So he was like, we're kind of like relating on a different spectrum, like kind of in
yeah,
the middle, like we just went
totally.
through this. But it is interesting. It's like the more this like haute couture like style of living is
Yeah,
accessible, the more the 1% and rich are just kind of like, why are we
mhm,
making this way?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just that that's what my algorithm has been kind of, and my socials lately have been kind of filled with these debunking, de-influencing,
Yeah,
exposing, and learning a little bit more about what the other side of the social is. So,
interesting. Well, yeah, I haven't missed TikTok, I will say.
well,
It has definitely helped my bank account, my mental health,
good.
and my sleep, dude. Like, when I and my general screen time. Like, of
Hmm.
course, I'll take breaks during my day and sit and watch TikTok and whatever, but I would always go on TikTok right before bed, and now I'm doing, like, a psycho thing, and I just get in bed and go to sleep, and it's wild.
Have you been reading?
I have been reading, not before bed, but I have
Okay.
been reading.
That's crazy.
Also, to follow up on last week's episode, I did learn that the book that I'm reading is completely fictional, so I did not know the answer to that last week, and now I do. This book based on the Ted Bundy murders
Hmm.
at Cayo and FSU, fictional. It's called Pretty Young Women, I think. No, I
Hmm.
think I made that up.
I thought A Pretty Bright Woman.
Pretty something. Listen, again, I
It's
know
pretty
nothing.
something women.
I know Bright Young Women.
Oh, yeah, maybe that one.
Maybe. Regardless, it's fictional, just to close the loop on that from last
Yeah,
week.
it's like based on the event that happened, but it's not like a
Yeah, and
Rick
stay
Melton or
tuned
anything.
next week, and I'll have the accurate title for you.
And I'll maybe know the author's first name.
Yeah, no, that will be in 2 episodes from now.
Okay,
I will
sounds good.
piecemeal out the information I know about this book.
That's fair. Well,
Yeah.
Kimmy, tell the folks, what are you looking forward to in the new year?
Well, I'm looking forward to my new medicine working.
Wow,
I'm the proud new
medication.
owner of a Zoloft prescription, so that is gonna be really exciting.
Let's fucking go.
Um, yeah, I'm just, like, in my healing era, from the first 2 months of my year, and that's not to say bad things still aren't happening because they most certainly are, but my anxiety about them and about life in general has gotten a bit better, so
Yay.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
I
dude.
also started walking dogs, for
Oh.
fun and for, like, fun money,
Mhm.
and I had my first client today. His name was Hank. He's a golden doodle, and he's very cute. So
Wow.
that was fun. I'm looking forward to that. Um, yeah, and we're celebrating at one of my favorite events. There's a bar in Arlington that does this thing called First Fridays, which on the first Friday of every month they have like really good drink deals and they do a live band power hour. And it's
Wow.
just so fun and always really good vibes. And I'm excited to go there and celebrate my new year.
Fun.
So, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Hopefully, lots of good things to come. I need everyone to manifest no more lemons in my life, please.
Only lemonade.
Yeah. I actually recently bought paper towels off of Amazon and didn't realize that they came with a print. And the print says, "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade." And I was just like, "Oh my God."
How fitting. How fucking fitting.
Also, so you know how these headbands have like come back, like the
Mhm.
whatever ones that we wore in the early 2000s? I love them because they hide my greasy hair, especially after I work out and need to like do something immediately, like today. Um, but when I don't have headphones on, I feel like it just gives none. Like the white, because people also wear them like really close to your hairline and over your ears. And so
Mhm.
I'm like, I just feel like I look like a sister.
That's my sister from another mister, and that
Yeah.
mister, God.
I'm still gonna wear them, but every once in a while I'll put it on and I'm like, I look like a member of the church.
Yeah, you should start singing like Sound of Music or something when you do
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
it. All right. Well, good talk.
Good chat. This was fun. I have had way too little caloric intake today for my brain to be functioning well. So
Yeah.
I need to go
Go
eat dinner.
go eat, bitch.
Yeah, I need to go get some sustenance in my body and shower off the gym. I texted Hannah before this and I said one benefit of remote recording is that you can't smell me. Because I did sit down here straight from the gym after putting makeup on over my sweat. So we're doing well. Time to go unwind.
Go be stinky and clean and then eat.
Yeah. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Yeah.
And as always, we appreciate you and hope that you're doing something exciting to celebrate the new year. And also, hang on, leap year is this week,
It is
February 29th.
it is a leap year. We should leap around.
Absolutely wild. Go leap around, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
See you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.